Hey everybody, this is Tony, Tainted Lord A7, and here's another week and another playlist. Another really diverse set of CDs that I've been spinning this week, and hopefully everyone enjoys it. And let me know what you think in the comment section down below. So let's go straight to it. The first CD that I've been spinning this week is Winter Sun and their self titled album. Now, this band and this album is a great mix of melodic death metal, power metal, heavy metal, and this album is just really majestic, over the top, epic, has some ripping solos, some great riffs, some over the top vocals, and yeah, this album is just like an essential power metal album of the 2000s. If you want to hear something really epic, over the top, and very very well played, I recommend check out Winter Sun and the self-titled album. This is just an excellent release from Winter Sun and a hell of a debut album. So yeah, just an awesome album from Winter Sun, the self-titled debut album. Good stuff. Okay, next up is um a Canadian heavy metal band that's been around since the early 90s, late 80s. No, late 80s, late 80s. And I feel like this band didn't really get the respect and attention that they deserve, but actually kind of like this band. And that's Anvil and the 2018 album Pounding the Pavement. Now, Anvil are a legendary 80s Canadian heavy metal band that's been around like since the late 80s all the way up to now. And while they were very influential in the heavy metal scene during the 80s, I feel like um with um with the 90s and early 2000s though, releases has been a bit of a mixed bag. Um some of it is good and others not so good. But I feel like Anvil's Pounding the Pavement is honestly to me a really good solid heavy metal album. Maybe lyrically it could be a bit cheesy at times, but with solos, I think this album delivers. And yeah, Anvil maybe an acquired taste, but I truly believe that Anvil's Pounding the Pavement is one of the better albums this late in their career. And this is just a solid heavy metal album in my personal opinion. So yeah, Anvil, Pounding the Pavement. Um a very solid heavy metal album from a band that's just persevered through the years, and for that I truly respect them for it. So yeah, Anvil, Pounding the Pavement. Okay, next up is a band that I'm pretty sure everybody knows. Even if you're not into heavy metal or not, this band did open up for the Olympics back in 2024. And who am I talking about? Obviously, Gojira. Yeah, Gojira should be a band that everybody should know by now, considering that they opened for the Olympics back in 2024 for the opening ceremony. But before that, they are just a really solid metal band. And I think Magma, yeah, Gojira's Magma is just a really solid album. Um, is it? I don't think this is like worse or better than the previous release. I think this is just a really solid metal album from Gojira. Very heavy and aggressive and and yeah, just a really solid album from Gojira. It's really hard to characterize what they sound like, but the blend of death metal, some heavy metal, a bit of death metal. Yeah, Gojira a mix of pretty much everything. But yeah, Gojira's Magma is just a solid album from them, and And if you haven't heard of Gojira, I definitely recommend checking this album out. So yeah, Magma by Gojira, a really great album from this band. Okay, next up is a grindcore band that I feel should have a grindcore band that should have been more well known, well talked about, but unfortunately I feel like they were short lived, and that's Nasum Shift. Now, if you're into some crushingly good grindcore, Nasum should be a band that everybody should know, and Shift is a fantastic grindcore album. Very fast, heavy, brutal, short, aggressive, and yeah, this is just a really excellent grindcore album. And unfortunately, this is the last full-length album from Nasum because back in 2004 when this album dropped, the lead singer unfortunately tragically passed away during the 2004 tsunami disaster. If anyone remembers that, and because of it, the band decided to call it quits, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Nasum Shift is a great final last full length album from this band, and it's just a fantastic grindcore album through and through. Like I said, it's very brutal, it's crushing, it's just aggressive, and yeah, a really great grindcore album from a band that should be that I wish should be still going on today, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So yeah, Nasum Shift, a great grindcore album. Okay, next up is Cataclysm and the album Shadows and Dust. Now, Cataclysm are a Canadian death metal band that I feel doesn't get talked about or gets brought up in conversations all that much. And that's kind of strange considering Cataclysm has been around since the early 90s and I don't hear a lot of people talk about them. But if you want some very fast, aggressive, hyper speed death metal, you can't go wrong with Cataclysm's Shadows and Dust. This is one of the best albums in their discography. And like I said, this is just some fast, high octane, porno punches death metal. It's fast, it's aggressive, and it's excellent. So Cataclysm's Shadows and Dust is just a stupendous death metal album from this band. And yeah, I wish Cataclysm gets, talked about more, but it is what it is. But yeah, Cataclysm's Shadows and Dust. A great album. Okay, next up is Impious and the album Hallucinate. Now, Impious are like a death thrash metal band that's been around during the 2000s, and apparently they split up back in 2007. At least according to the Metal Archives, they split up after 2007. But this is just an excellent, well done 2000s era death thrash album from this band. Impious Hallucinate is a fast, aggressive, riff-driven death thrash album that'll get your head banging. The riffs are solid and it's just crushingly good. Really good stuff. So yeah, if you've never heard of Impious, I definitely recommend checking out Hallucinate, a fast, aggressive, and speedy album from this band. So yeah, Impious, Hallucinate. Good stuff. And the last two albums that I'm going to show for this video is from a band that I'm pretty sure everybody knows. If you're into 80s thrash metal, this band needs no introduction. And that's Slayer. Yep, Slayer. Seasons in the Abyss and South of Heaven. Both really fantastic, essential thrash metal albums. This one from the late 80s, and this one from the beginning of the 90s. Yeah, really, there's nothing more to say about about these two albums. Like, they've been discussed and talked about, and everybody knows that these albums are essential Slayer albums. If you want some fast, aggressive, whipping solos, great riffs, just fantastic songwriting, Slayer's Seasons in the Abyss and South of Heaven are essential thrash metal albums from Slayer. So yeah, both fantastic, iconic releases from this band. So yeah, Slayer, South of Heaven, and Seasons in the Abyss. Both fantastic albums. And that's pretty much it. That's my playlist for this week. Let me know what you think, and hopefully everyone enjoys it. Thanks for watching.